What's going on, guys? Back at it again with another video. Hit subscribe button, like, comment, and share, and all that good stuff. In this video, I'm going to be touching on how to physically prepare for OCS so you guys can pass, get a good OML score, and most importantly, commission as an officer. So stay tuned for more. So I got a comment from my subscriber about, hey, how do you physically prepare for OCS, like with a 3-mile run, obstacle course, and all the good stuff. And I made a couple of tips as you see, but I didn't touch on physical stuff, even though I did kind of have a video about ACFT and then one little workout video. And side note, I'll make more workout videos to prepare for like other activities that are Army specific. I have a workout channel as well, but it's not Army specific stuff, but I'll make more on this channel. Wilson World TV, you can check that out if you guys are interested. But I want to make sure you guys understand how to be successful while you guys are in OCS. I will say biasly, this being my opinion, I am a D1 athlete, so I'm naturally more athletic to do a lot of these exercises and workouts with relative ease. The max score ACFT is 600. I'm a 593. Just putting that out there. So I'm gonna try to explain all these things at the most basic level, so you guys won't feel intimidated. Oh, he's a 5. He's a very athletic person. He's a big, strong guy. He can do this. I'm gonna explain this so you guys can all do this and pass and make sure you guys are successful. So the first thing, I don't want to just simply say, hey, just run. Yes, you're gonna be doing a lot of running in OCS. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You're gonna do a lot of running, but it's not necessarily running that's gonna make you be successful, because one, you might run at a terrible pace that's not really passing, or you're just barely getting through. But here's the thing that you need to do so you guys can be somewhat simulated to the intensity once you go to OCS, because you're competing with your colleagues and not with yourself to get what you want. Because that could be different between you being ranked 11th and then bombing on ACFT or bombing on a physical activity and being down at 78. So that's different between pretty much being MI and FA. Nothing wrong with FA, but you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So the first thing I highly recommend, this is how you can be successful in the ACFT and other stuff like what I'm about to explain in a few seconds. It's a thing called black phase. Phase up, where you're gonna be in gold phase. You're gonna have the gold little OCS pins and all that stuff. You're gonna be in I think HSC or whatever it's called, and like pretty much before you start your process. So you're gonna wake up early in the morning. It's gonna be team related activities. It's gonna be very intense, where you're gonna be climbing the ropes, climbing the ropes. You're gonna be carrying the little medic thing where people kind of die. I forgot what it's called, a little sling, whatever. Running around the track, doing every time you don't put certain things together, you're gonna get smoked every time. Like doing squat benders, V-ups, and all that stuff. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be pretty intense. So what I do to prepare to that, I would do workout first, then do cardio. Intense cardio, not just a recovery cardio, but intense cardio. So get your legs burnt out before you start running. So doing squats, don't do no leg press and all that other weak stuff like the leg extensions. Don't do that as your base workout. Do squats, do weighted activities to burn out your legs, then run. So high reps to build that muscular endurance, because that's all pretty much you're gonna need when you're in OCS. That muscular endurance is what's gonna make sure you guys are successful when doing a lot of these exercises. So also, when I say do cardio, if you're doing it at a gym, this is what I recommend. You don't gotta take my advice. This is what be beneficial. I'm not even gonna touch on the 4-mile run yet. Put that treadmill up on elevation, because a lot of times you're gonna run on concrete. So the levels are not going to be even. So some going to be raised, some going to be lower. It's going to be incline, decline. So try to raise it at one of the more harder inclines, like put that at 3 or 4. Then raise the speed until you can comfortably run on maybe like an 8 speed or 9 speed for about 10 minutes comfortably. If you can run on that 10 minutes comfortably, you should be straight. However, most people are not going to be in good conditioning for doing it. So first, burn out with your run. So first start off at sprint fast. Do it at the highest intensity possible. So if you can run at like a 9 speed for like 30 seconds, get used to running at that speed for 30 seconds. Then naturally go down, but build the time up until you're like at like an 8. Make sure that time marker, no matter what, your pace is always less than 8 minutes. I would say 8:30, but more times than not, based on like being around people and stuff, you're not going to be able to build that stamina, and naturally other elements might occur where you might be a little hurt, your muscles not be fatigued, and that 8:30 might turn to 8:45, and then you're in jeopardy of not passing that 3-mile run. So try to keep it no more than making sure that you're going at an 8-minute pace. No matter what, 8-minute pace should be your minimum on minimum passing, because like I said, other things can occur where you might bump from 8:30 to 9 minute mile pace, and then you end up in jeopardy of not failing. So keep it at, no matter what, at an 8-minute pace, no matter how long you run, whether it's 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever, keep it no less than an 8-minute pace with elevation on there, and then you should be fine. But make sure you work out before you do that. And if you want to build up that muscle mass, hit the Stairmaster. Do like start off at 6 minutes at like a level 7 and build up to a 10, and make sure you can do at least 10-10, 10-15, 30 minutes, 40 minutes at higher intensity, because like, remember, a lot of these workouts that you're doing when you go to OCS is not going to be at your pace. I mean, of course you're going to be running at OCS, but you still got to run at a certain time frame. You don't want to be last and stuff. So and not to mention, it's not necessarily you running. You're going to be running with your colleagues, so you might have been used to running at a certain pace at home, maybe like a 9-minute pace, 8:30 pace. Then all of a sudden you get into OCS. This is going into the 4-mile run. Everybody takes off, and then you're trying to keep up with them or kind of be on their tail, but you're not even knowing that they're running at probably like a 7-minute pace, 6:30 pace, 5-minute pace, or hovering at 7:40 pace. And then, but you've been running at 8:30 the whole time. Now you're running 40 minutes faster than you used to, and you're only on lap 1. So by the time you get to lap 4, because it's a mile track, you're pretty much done for, because you're going to slow down very dramatically, and then you're going to be having to bust it on that last minute, last lap, and then you end up potentially failing and having to redo the run. So a lot of this stuff is going to be based on before you even show up to OCS, and I would say basic training too, but I would say build that leg endurance before you start running. Run leg endurance and then run. Don't do this leg endurance and feel okay, now I'm ready to run. No, work out first, then run. Work out first, then run. I don't care how legs you burnt out. Work out first, then run. If you got a gym, work out first, run. No matter what, I don't care what it is. Of course, if you haven't worked out in a while, of course your legs are going to be feeling like crap. Trust me, then the next day, trust me, I already know it. But do not stop. Have weeks out apart where you're not doing anything. If you have a gym that have the little trap bars, you can work on your deadlifts. Work on that. And I'm speaking more towards this is more towards the women than the men. The biggest thing that I've seen a lot of the women fail at is the 4-mile run. They normally suck at the ball toss. They normally suck at deadlifting. Those like the big things that most of the females that I've seen suck at. You generally suck at. Unless you really super high speed, most of them literally suck at those 3 things. Running for long distance, deadlift, and ball toss. So the biggest thing that you should work on, and push-ups, you'll be fine on push-ups. Because most times you'll be alright push-ups. I don't want to stress about push-ups. But those are the big 3. So the thing is, if you at a gym, find a trap bar and start practicing. And also get a weight vest so you can start building your traps a little bit. Not enough though you all masculine and jacked up, but having weight on your shoulders. That's the biggest thing, is having weight on your shoulders. So when you start going into the next thing, which I'm talking about rucking, your shoulders are already used to having weight on it. So once you walk in for 12 miles, you already have that. You don't really, your shoulders and stuff won't really feel that strain, and you're not really hunching your back like Notre Dame when you start actually walking, and you're walking not just at your pace, but you're walking in a staggered column, a road march configuration, and you got one person that's a long strider, but you short strided, and then you got to kind of keep up with them, and you kind of struggling. So I'll say that's the big thing to do. Back, shoulders, and thighs, and then your core are probably the biggest thing to physically prepare for when you guys go into OCS. So a lot of stuff is just mainly this upper body, because if you get on the Bolton Obstacle course, for example, it's not too hard. You're gonna have a lot of spotters. It's gonna be mostly balance. I haven't remembered Bolton Obstacles in a while. It's mostly balance and balance and upper body strength. Be able to pull yourself up to like over like the walls and stuff like that. If you can do that part in the phase up, which I think you will do a lot of that in the phase up, where you kind of jumping over the balance beam, climbing that. If you can do that with no problem, you should be fine. I think one of the tougher things, which you can practice, team up with someone that is good with climbing ropes. When you get to OCS, they'll teach you how to do the J hook. So that's more like networking when you get there. It's really not really, I never seen a case where you can really practice outside of OCS unless you done, like, you know, a climbing obstacle course and wherever you stay at where you can climb the ropes and practice. But they have a rope when you get there that you can practice on, that you'll be using on. So 9 times out of 10, I think 10 times out of 10, you're gonna have people that know how to climb the ropes. So they can just teach you this network and stuff. You'll figure it out. You'll be alright. You'll be alright with that. That's not really a big deal. But the bolts and stuff, if you can climb the ropes and you can pull yourself over, you should be fine. Everything else is more like this balance and making sure that you're not afraid of heights. And that's pretty much it. That's more like a psychological thing. You will have your people motivating you. Just keep going. You'll be fine on that. Not too many people fail the Bolton Obstacle course unless you're just completely unathletic. And sometimes, depending on what company you're in, they might try to, help you out, make sure you kind of get over that hump. And it's a lot of events that you have to fail to kind of get out. You just have to, like, damn near quit to not make Bolton off or get hurt. Speaking of injuries, I ain't touched on this as well. Make sure you guys get a lot of electrolytes. Forget the water, get electrolytes. If you can stack up on Pedialytes, get some packets, you should be good. That might be tough. If you can find some Pedialytes, they're gonna be a little pricey. It's well worth it, because what happens is they'll tell you to hydrate, but say if you're like doing land nav, which is gonna be the most, I think land nav is the most physically exhausting thing that you probably do, as far as like you're gonna be really working, because you're gonna do a lot of walking. Depending on what time of the year that you do land nav, it's gonna be super hot. You're gonna be walking about 30-40 miles per day. So make sure you have like Pedialytes, hydration packets, because you don't want to over drink too much water where you're flushing out your system and then you get a lot of body cramps and stuff. So that would be the big thing. As far as shoe wear, you're gonna be running on concrete a lot, and for me, I have bad shins, so make sure you have proper footwear. So for example, I got these ACFT. They don't have to get these type of colors, but I like these because they have a good bend. So once I'm pretty much pogo sticking off the concrete when I run. We're not running track, so it's nothing illegal about certain shoes that you can get. Especially in OCS, they don't really trip depending on a company, they might trip on certain footwear. We didn't have issue with certain footwears, but you can get a profile for that. That's easy. Speaking of profiles, as far as taking care of yourself physically, be strategic on how and when you go to sit call. So I would say if you need something, make sure you can knock out multiple things at one time. So if say you hurt your leg, take care of your shoe, your foot at the same time. If you got certain ailments, take care of everything all at once, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're gonna get this recycled because you missed POI, which is something that this pretty much missing class time or important events, and then you get recycled. So be strategic when you do it. And also, if you're sick, be advised, if you get sick and you need some cough drops or whatever, physically or whatever, be prepared, because you're gonna have to take a COVID test. You're gonna be on quarters for 48 hours, sometime up to a whole week. So be prepared for that, to tell them no, I don't. Be prepared for that. If you go in there for anything about your throat, they're gonna give you a COVID test. So be prepared for that. So that might be an issue. So it's a website you can go to. Go to MedPros, right? When you get your slit call, if you do this, I'm gonna say this. If you go to sit call and you're sick and you have to get throat like cough drops and stuff, and they put you on quarters, go on MedPros, or I think it was ask them the website of the service where you can track when they clear you and say that you're negative. Don't go off necessarily the slip, because they typically will have it done the next day, that following morning. So you can just reiterate it to your first sergeant and say, hey, they got me on quarters for 90 days, for 90 hours or 48 hours here, but however, I got the MedPro form right here saying, hey, I'm COVID negative. So you can just resume activities. So that's the case. A lot of people had that issue. I almost got recycled for that. So that's something that y'all be mindful of. But anything, just take care of that immediately. So like again, recapping what I said, make sure you guys work out before you start running, and work out then run. Don't just work out, feel good, then start running. Don't do everything together. Build your ball toss, like your hip flexors, as well as make sure that you get on the deadlifts. So if you go to the gym, make sure you work on your trap, get trap bars, practice on that. And then for rucking, make sure that you have a weight vest, so you're used to carrying around weight. You can do various pounds, walk with it with various weight, whether it's 8 pounds. The ruck standard is 35-pound minimum, so you can get a 35-pound book bag or a weight vest, put that out around and just walk around the house, walk around certain areas, and then you'll be squared away. And then as well, make sure you got proper footwear, because you're gonna run on concrete a lot. And also as well, again, make sure that you guys are actually going to sit call and making sure that you're strategic when you go there, so you're not facing any penalties when you show back up. And also you got all the medical documentation that you need, so you guys can be successful when you guys do go to OCS. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully that helped you guys out. Hit the subscribe button, and I'm out. Gone.